Hey guys, Ventumini coming at you live once again through Power of the Internet. Let's shout out to Punisher Idiot, whose videos I enjoy doing, and he always starts off with that there, so just shout out to him. I've decided to do a review today, and before I get through that, he's here came through the post, which is the last set of the Thundercats comics I need, Thundercats Enemies Prize. So we've got issue 1, Thunder, issue 2, Thunder, issue 3, Thunder, issue 4, Thundercats, issue 5, oh, see what I did there, because it's Thunder. Well, if you watch the TV show, you know. So I haven't read these yet, so I will read them and probably do a review on them. The main crux of the video today is a review on Batman: A Death in the Family. I've heard really good things about this, and as I said in my last video, I picked them up from fellow YouTuber Just Looking Big Daddy Don, so shout out again to them. As I said, just heard really good things about this, so I thought I would give it a read last night before I went to bed. Sometimes I'll read a book and then I'll stop halfway through, but this was just one that I really enjoyed from start to finish. Obviously, with this here, you can see who the Death in the Family is about. Now, if you haven't read this, I will be talking about, you know, what happens in the book, so if you don't want to spoil it for you, then please switch it off now. I don't want to be one of these guys who ruins, you know, like a good story for somebody. But what I will show you before you go is this, which made me laugh, is that that's why I'm travelling under a phony Northern Irish passport. You see, even Bruce Wayne actually calls us Northern Irish people. Not Irish, Northern Irish. And yeah, whenever I saw that, I just laughed at it. Now this was actually done in 1988. I had no idea that this was such an old book, so I didn't. So I just showed you a bit of the artwork there, and you know, this is like the first. It took me 3 weeks to track down the Kiddie Porn Rings main warehouse, which sounds a bit wrong. So that's like the first couple of pages there, so you can see the art. The art really grabbed me. I thought it was really good. So basically, this here is give me 2 seconds here, and there was actually a thing in the back of it which I will talk about in a minute or two. So Jason Todd, I think that's his surname, is Robin, and basically his parents have been killed, and Batman, there's like a bit in the story where he's like trying to take the wheels off the Batmobile, and Batman and Bruce Wayne kind of takes him under his wing and trains him, and they become friends. But then after, you know, he just like has a lot of resentment and things like that, so you see him like taking out his aggression on, you know, these petty crooks. But then he's going through his he's given like a box of stuff to do with his life, and it turns out that his mother isn't who he thought it was. So he then starts going travelling. Now at this point, Batman has already said to him that his services are no longer required, that he's being taken off the active roster. So it is. He's got 3 names. He's got Sharman Rosen, who emigrated to Israel in 1982. Shiva Wuzan, a lady with a shadowy past suspected of being a mercenary operating out of Lebanon, and Dr. Sheila Haywood working on famine relief efforts in Ethiopia. So obviously it's not a case of she's just around the corner, and he actually takes some money, credit cards from Bruce Wayne, to say thanks for financing it for me. So yeah, the Joker in this plays a pivotal part as well. Basically the Joker has escaped from Arkham Asylum and is broke, so he has like this big nuclear weapon that he wants to sell to give, you know, to start, you know, giving him money. So he actually does that, gets on the plane, you know, steals the plane, and go like, oh, they'll not notice we're here until such and such. And that's another thing, is that they always talk about time differences. You know, Joker says they'll not notice this plane's gone till tomorrow. Batman knocks somebody out. Oh, he'll be unconscious for 6 hours. Like, that's very precise. But yeah, so Batman goes into the warehouse where Joker has stored this big nuclear device, and there's like a Giga counter, Geiger counter sitting on the floor. So he scans that, and he scans the plane whenever he finds the plane. And basically he's in a moral dilemma whether he actually goes after the Joker and save millions of people, or whether he goes after his friend and helps him. And it turns out that whenever he's over, he actually tracks down Robin. So whenever Robin's actually trying to find his parents, or his mother even, Bruce grabs him, and then they go and eventually find his mother, who is the one who's working in Ethiopia, because there's a lot of travelling around, like the Joker goes from here to there and what have you, and then finds his mother, and he kind of is outside of a tent and hears the Joker and his mother talking, and basically the Joker's blackmailing his mother, and he says, like, even though Batman's told him to stay where he was, do nothing. And Robin says, well, yeah, that's fine, Dandy, but that's my mum, thinking to himself. Goes down, and basically his mum goes like, come on down here, and the Joker's standing there. And if you don't want to see this, again, look away for 2 seconds. I just want to, because it's very well done. You don't see anything, but it's just very well done. Where is it? Should have really had this prepared earlier. Yeah, so they basically go to a warehouse, and that's whenever this happens. There. So there's Robin, and that's the Joker just waiting on him, and you can see his mother kind of getting a bit upset with that. So once the Joker's done that, he actually plants a bomb, goes off, and basically that's how the demise of Robin happens. Superman then comes into this, because the Joker is then an ambassador for, I think it's Ethiopia he's an ambassador for. He's an ambassador from somewhere, and because if you've watched like Lethal Weapon, he has diplomatic immunity. It's Murtaugh with the gun. It goes like, but yeah, so he finds that happens, he becomes like Iran. He becomes a ambassador for them, so Superman has to keep him in check, and Batman says, yeah, but he killed such and such, and what have you. So they're actually in a I can't even remember what the words for it. There's like an ambassador's meeting, kind of, and it's kind of like an ambassador's meeting, and Joker goes to spray some people with his laughing gas, because obviously every time they die they've got the big smile on his face. Yeah, so they're at the UN General Assembly chamber, and that's wherever his plan's going to come to fruition. So there's a security guard standing there, and he goes to shoot his gun, and it's Superman. He grabs the gun, and the gas has been leaked, but Superman kind of inhales it all. But yeah, it's just it's one of those ones that it's such a good read, and I didn't know that back in the day. There's an excerpt here I want to read. We began a long storyline which culminated in Jason's being caught in an explosion, Batman 427, and at the end of that issue informed readers they could decide Robin's fate by calling one number for his survival, another one for his demise. Now bear in mind, this was in 1988 odd. So excuse me, getting all choked up with Robin's death. But yeah, it's just a case of, it said like they had 36 hours to act from 8 AM Eastern on September 16th, 8 PM. Two versions, Batman 48 in the drawer awaiting the verdict. We received 10,614 calls. The final tally, 5,271 for and 5,343 against. Hail and farewell, Jason Todd. So that's how close it was as well. So the last couple of panels are Joker's in a helicopter, and Batman does something, and I think he's in the helicopter with yeah, and he kind of shoots. Something happens to the pilot, and he jumps out, and Superman saves Batman from the water, and he says, find his body. He needs closure to know that, Jason Robin's death has been avenged. But it's just, as I said, like a lot of people have said to me whenever I did my review, or did my video yesterday, and said about the Batman book, everyone said read this first, and I'm glad they did, because I so enjoyed this book. I would highly recommend this book to anyone. You know, I know my good friend Simon has been wanting to pick it up, but it's just a case of, you know, I don't really read a lot of older stuff, but just the art in this, it was just brilliant, and just the way it was written, the way it was done was just superb. So yes, if I had to give this a rating out of 5, I give it a 5. Couldn't fault it, to be honest with you. I love the fact that this is one of the few books where I've read that has the readers kind of determining what happens. Obviously nowadays in the internet, you know, nothing's secret, but back then you wouldn't have known what was written, what for or back. You know, I would have liked to see what happened if he survived, you know, what way the story went out. I don't know if there is an alternative side to that, but I would have liked to see what happens that way. I don't think it'll be as dramatic as this. But yeah, it's a very, very touching story, very, very good, and it's nice to see. Obviously, Batman is very, you know, he has to get things done, but it's good to see a compassionate side for Batman, for Bruce Wayne as well. But I would highly suggest picking this up if you are looking to read a good Batman story. This was probably one of the, I haven't read many Batman stories, but this would be one of the top ones there for me. But that's going to do it for me. Before I go though, anyone based in the UK, at 10 p.m. UK time, I think it's about 5 p.m. in America. I know that's, I think it's in Philadelphia where Millie Akers is from. There's going to be myself, Millie Akers, and the Graphic Novice doing a Google Hangout. It's going to go up on his channel, so I'll put the link to his channel down below. And if you want to come along and join in, ask us questions, you know, just join in. I know Stacey's done quite a few of them. One with Holy Batgirl, one with Mercy, and a couple with other. I know Tylox Mighty's done a couple as well. It's just unfortunate where I am, you know, whenever it's 10 o'clock their time, you know, it's say 3 o'clock in the morning here, so it kind of, the time zones are all over the place. But yeah, just I'll put the link to Chris, the Graphic Novice, his account below, and I look forward to talking to him and to Millie as well. Hopefully I can come up with some intelligent stuff, as I tried to get that and make myself sound intelligent. I've messed that up, and then you're sore there too. But yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this very, very long, arduous review, and if you've made it to the end, then applause to you. Make sure to check out Graphic Novice's channel. There's so many good channels on this place, and as I said, if you haven't checked out my video before to do my pickups, please check that out. There's a link on that video to do with Melissa's boyfriend's stuff has been stolen, and she's doing like a fundraiser to help her, him get the stuff back, and she kind of did that just for him. You know, he didn't ask, which is good. So be your hero and help a hero out, as in him, because he's in the armed forces. So my hat's off to him. So that's going to do it for me. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time.